The House of Representatives Committee on Tertiary Education Trust Fund (TETFund) has instructed First Bank of Nigeria and other banks to appear before it alongside its tax consultant to reconcile the education tax computation not remitted to TETFund by the banks between 2011 and 2022. This is as the President, Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU), Professor Victor Osodoke, urged the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, stop tax waivers meant to fund tertiary institutions in the country. Professor Osodoke, who was speaking on Tuesday during a public hearing on monitoring of collection, utilization and other associated services relating to education tax from 2011 to 2022, hinged the poor funding of tertiary institutions and incessant industrial actions to waivers granted to banks and other private institutions.
Why should the president approve a waiver for banks not to pay some tax? And this is the sector of the industry that makes so much profit on a yearly basis. So why are you preventing them? This is one of the industries where people are properly paid, and you are preventing them. So I also believe that the legislator can come in this area, that there is a need to stop this so-called waiver.
Based on that presidential order issued in 2011, there are certain categories of income that are exempt from tax. Some of them include short-term federal investment income from short-term federal government instruments and securities such as treasury bills and promissory notes, bonds issued by federal, state, and local governments, and bond issued by corporate bodies.
Chairman of the committee, Honorable Miriam Onoa, who gave the directive, said out of the 15 banks invited, about 7 were supposed to appear before the committee on Tuesday, while only 3 of them showed up, with 3 others writing to seek a new date to appear. Other members of the committee, throwing their weight on the issue, say the engagement by the committee is to ensure that the education tax is duly collected by the FIRS as well as putting it to judicious use.
What we do is to monitor compliance, and they've been regularizing, updating their receipts of payment. And they've been reconciling, and this is where we as a committee have arrived at with you. The bone of contention have always and mostly been that the banks seem to be relying on a purported exemption order which clearly mentioned companies' income tax exemption order of 2011. We have asked the banks to produce the education tax exemption order.
What we are saying here, that for now, we cannot conclude, like we are saying, until they furnish the tax computation, which, under professional evidence, their tax consultant, Deloitte, computed, stamped and sealed and submitted to FIRS, which form the basis of whatever assessment that they have done. Even as a data, I want to submit that it may not be final.
If there is anything that is important to any Nigerian today, is the education of our children. So if you are invited to come in and discuss on how we can advance and develop education, I think it must be taken seriously by every Nigerian.
Meanwhile, managing directors of some banks, tax consultants, as well as FIRS were asked to appear before the committee on the 12th of June 2024, as the committee also intends to run a forensic analysis of the companies that are to benefit from the waiver and those hiding under it. Aniete Patrick, Core TV News, Abuja.